right, time now to do some business, making sense of the shillings and cents. Let's begin with the National Treasury, which is projecting a 6.1% economic growth in 2023 based on inclusive economic growth forecast. Now, this comes in the backdrop of a looming global recession in advanced economies, which is set to grow at a lower than expected 3.5% rate in 2023. Jimmy Mbogo reports.
The National Treasury is now warning of a harsh economic environment in 2023 based on the impact of a global recession that could have damning effects on Kenya's economy. Speaking while officiating the opening of the public sector hearing for the budget 2023-2024, Treasury CS Professor Njuguna Ndung'u cautioned against government excesses, noting that going forward the government will be seeking to implement austerity measures to reduce the country's budget deficit.
From the literature and all the things that I've read through, the outlook for 2023 is not looking very good. The whole of sub-Saharan Africa is actually projected to grow at 3.7%. So essentially, you can see how constrained growth is.
This as the government pegs its growth projection on the bottom-up approach to drive its economic growth through the involvement of the private sector for capital injection in order to grow its revenue base.
For me, that is very, very important. Avenues of inclusive growth will include creating jobs, agro-processing, and creating export markets. That is going to be very, very critical. For us, it is very, very important to look at the structure of that growth and the quality of that growth, because it is that growth that we use to project revenues.
At the same time, the National Treasury has been warned over its over-reliance on supplementary budget, which could now see new legislations put in place to ensure that the budgetary allocation done every year lasts until the next financial year, with supplementary funds only being moved from departments that did not exhaust their funds.
Majority of these people, because I can see the faces, they are my friends. We have interacted in many forums. Majority of the people in government institutions, they spend their time, in treasury chasing money. Why should a director general, instead of building roads, be chasing money? They chase money because anytime this budget can be cut, a supplementary budget can always come. And therefore you want your money as soon as possible. We need to find even legal safeguards that when we budget, then the accounting officer responsible for example, NIA, should go on to do irrigation and now leave treasury, which is timed, to release their money, and they should be sure that the budget we do, for example, the one we are doing in April, that there's some money that is safeguarded up to the next financial year when it is ending.
Treasury has yet again hinted of its intention to convert some of the country's commercial loans into concessional loans, this coming at a time when the government is set to contend with the maturing facilities. Further, state departments have been warned against taking up new projects without completion of the ongoing projects. As the government embarks on the budget-making process, the key question is, will this government be able to make sure that fiscal consolidation is not only a talk, but they will be able to walk that talk? Jimmy Mbogo, KTN News, Nairobi.
After a long hiatus, the government has resumed the issuance of Inua Jamii cash assistance to the elderly. The government last disbursed the funds in June of last year, a month before the general election. Jasmine Murani with this and other stories making headlines from the corporate scene.
Senior citizens have a reason to smile after the resumption of the Inua Jamii program, which had been put on hold for over 6 months. The exercise kicked off in various centers across the country, with hundreds of registered elderly persons queuing to receive the much-awaited stipend. The government is issuing a 4-month cumulative stipend to cover the months of July, August, September and October. The unpaid months of November and December have become a hot topic of discussion among the elderly, with some calling for an increase of the monthly stipend altogether.
Tuomba serikali kama kuna uwezekano hii pesa iongezeke na at least tupate kila baada ya mwezi mmoja. Kwa sababu inapokaa muda wa miezi 2-3 inakoroga kama sisi wananchi watu tunasafa kweli.
Sisi tunajua tumezoea tukija hapa tunatoa kadi yako na kitambulisho chako unapewa pesa unaenda. lakini leo tunaambiwa kuwa network mpaka inaelekea saa 9 na kitu.
Elsewhere, women in Laikipia County have devised an innovative method to create biogas from cactus. Iloplei Twala Cultural Manyata Women Group are out to eliminate the cactus plant from their farms, given the harmful effects it has had on their livestock, sometimes even killing their cattle. This innovation will also help in the conservation of forests, as biogas will be used as a substitute for firewood.
Here in Twala, we use it to produce biogas. And this is the machine. We use a farmer's machine to grind it. We mix with water, and then the mixture we pour in the biodigester, and it will produce more gas than even cow dung.
Jasmine Murani for KTN News.